I'm going through a rough time. And I always thought that getting angry would get me out of sadness. How can I overcome the sadness I feel for my children in this divorce? I feel responsible for my children not having a whole and normal family. So there's a few different issues here. Let's look at the first. I always thought anger would get me out of sadness, that if I just could get angry enough, I wouldn't be sad. Anger and sadness, anger and pain, are actually just two different manifestations, two different expressions of really the same situation. If it's internal within myself, I feel pain. When I can't bear that pain, or I think I can't bear that pain, I think that somehow that pain is going to make me come apart, or I'm afraid of that pain, or I think pain is weakness, I'm afraid of looking at the pain, I project it outward. How dare you make me feel like this? The dilemma is that all you're really doing is ping-ponging back and forth between two different aspects of the same situation within you. Neither how dare you, nor, oh my God, my poor self, poor me, this is unbearable. Neither of those is actually pulling me out of the situation. Both of them arise from one situation and one situation only, which is how I expected the world to work out is not how it's worked out. What I wanted, and actually it's even deeper than just what I wanted. It's actually what I also expected and felt entitled to receiving. Because if I just wanted pasta for dinner and he cooked Chinese food, but I didn't actually have any sense of expecting that he was going to make pasta, I didn't expect he was going to be able to read my mind, he never makes pasta, I wouldn't be angry or saddened by the lack of pasta. But if I've got an expectation and a sense of entitlement to getting what I've expected, this guy knows I want pasta. And if he doesn't, he should. Then when the Chinese food arrives, I'm angry. How dare he not do what I want? Or I'm sad. I never get what I want. The universe is against me. I'm never meant to be satisfied or full, or what I want, it never happens. She loves Chinese food. Why does she always get what she wants and I never get what I want? So it goes in all of these different ways, and I purposely choose kind of light-hearted situations. But it's the same when it's deep. We don't expect that an earthquake is going to come and cause our house to collapse, or a fire is going to come and cause it to burn down. And on some level, we actually feel entitled to that not happening. We feel entitled to the things that are ours staying in very good shape, like the universe sort of has this responsibility to protect that which is mine. My possessions, my body, the bodies of my loved ones, what I want. And so whenever things don't happen, my relationships, my job, when things don't happen according to what I want, what I expect, and what I feel entitled to receive, I feel pain about that. And that pain turned outward as anger. But make no mistake, the anger will never heal your pain, nor will the pain heal your anger. However, between the two, the pain is a truer emotion. Where you find yourself angry, look for pain. Ask yourself, what is it I am feeling pained about that is causing me to lash out? And then see whether you can change your expectation. Whether you can realize that the universe, while not there at your beck and call, while not your vending machine, actually is there, supporting and nourishing and nurturing and caring for and holding you. And it may not come how you thought it would. It may not come how you expected, how you wanted, how you felt entitled to. But that's not the universe's fault. That's a fault in my assumption. And so we shift the assumption to realizing, I'm being cared for. And that's actually the only way out of both the pain and the anger, is to drop into faith. A faith that if this is what has happened, this is what was supposed to happen, this is the most conducive situation for me to take my next step closer to God. Now realize that is not complacency, that is not laziness, that is not giving in. Because I have the power in this moment to create the next moment. So if this moment is one that is not what I want, well, I can't rewind history, so I cannot undo this moment. My only opportunity in this moment is acceptance. And asking myself, okay, if this is what I've been given, how is it that I am supposed to use this loss, this divorce, this firing from my job, this tragedy, this disappointment, this pain? How am I supposed to use that to get closer to God? To unfold the truth of who I am? What illusion was I holding that the universe has given me this situation to dispel? Because there is nothing like tragedy and loss to dispel our illusions. And realize that although I can't rewind history and change this moment, based on how I am in this moment, I can change my next moment. And so it's not resignation. It's not, oh, this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life. It's simply, this is how it is in this moment. And my highest calling in this moment is opening and acceptance and unfolding and waking up to whatever it is that is supposed to blossom through me in this moment. And asking myself, okay, What am I planting for the next moment? What seeds am I watering for the next moment? And when we do that, then we actually are changing the next moments. So it's, as I said, it's not resignation. It's simply acceptance in the moment and full power, consciously, to create the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And so going back to the question, the sadness that this person feels about the divorce and the impact on the children. Well, realize that actually what impacts children the most is tension, is stress, is a sense of being pushed back and forth and pulled. And so if there is a divorce and that is what the present moment has brought, okay, how can I, regardless of my ex-spouse, how can I in this moment, because the question, of course, had some other pieces I didn't read about what the ex-spouse is doing that's wrong. Because it's always very easy to point the finger and to say, I'm worried about what other people are doing that is wrong. And that is useless worry because you can't change what other people are doing. A lot of the time it's projection. A lot of the time it's denial. But aside from that, we can't even change it. So ask yourself, what can I do in this moment to bring stability and love and joy and peace in the life of my children? And that's what they need. It's not about a 2-parent home, a 3-parent home, a 4-parent home, a 1-parent home. It's about love and stability and presence. There are lots of stories of lots of people who have been raised brilliantly by a single parent, whether due to divorce or death or tragedy or whatever it may be, who have come out fantastically well. And there's lots of stories of people who have been a product of a 2-parent home, who have come out depressed and addicted and pathological and miserable. So it's not about the number of parental figures under one roof. It's about that which I am being parented with. Is it loving? Is it stable? Is it honoring of who I am? Or is it using of me as a pawn in the divorce? And that's really important. And if children are loved and honored and seen, that's what matters. And each of us individually, whether as part of a 2-parent home, part of a 3-parent home, part of a 4-parent home, the single parent in a 1-parent home, we have the ability to give that. Children do not grow up pathologically depressed because their parents were not, or the parent was not, rich or upper middle class. That is not a precursor of depression or anxiety or misery or pathology. But what ends up happening is we give up the time and the love and the presence and the attention and the connection with our children to give them more money and more opportunity. And what's most important to realize is what your children need is your presence. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a full-time job. It doesn't mean that there's a problem with nannies or daycare or anything like that. But it means when you are physically present, be there. Do not be checking your phone while your kids are telling you about the day. Do not be multitasking. Be with them. Whether it's an hour, Doesn't matter how much time it is, whatever it is. Be there, be present, be grounded, be love. Not just loving, but love. And your kids will be fine. That's what they need. And interestingly, that's what we need as the parents. When we feed what we need, we actually give that to our children. When we are grounded and anchored and connected and stable and joyful, that's what we give our children. So take care of yourself and you'll be taking care of them.